What's going on, everybody? Today, as we all know, the free agency period is over, the draft is over, and it's time to rub the magic eight ball or whatever you call it, and start predicting stuff. Right? That's what's fun about football. We can. When I was a kid, I used to always pick up these magazines, these thick magazines, right? And whether I was going on an airplane or whatever, and I would read the predictions, I'd be like, "Oh, they have my Eagles at 7-9." The crap, and every different magazine I would pick up, there'd be a different prediction. Now it's all a click away, and you just read every website. But I want to be the guy that predicts now, and I have my friend Lucas here to help me out. Um, First of all, how are you, Lucas?
Doing great. It's rough in the quarantine, but what are you gonna do, man?
The beard, and the goatee do you very well, my friend. Don't let it go. Don't
It's
ever.
my quarantine beard.
Perfect. Don't ever shave it, please.
I won't.
All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of AFC first, and then we're gonna predict each division. We're gonna go, one off. He'll do one, I'll do one, and then we're gonna do the
Mhm.
NFC. I want to save the NFC East for last because that will be the grand finale for what we're Eagles fans. We want to leave. We want to make you suffer till the end, and that's what we're gonna do here on the Straight Fire Pod. We're gonna start with the AFC North, and I'm gonna do the AFC North.
Mhm.
I want to preference this by saying I don't think Lamar Jackson is a good passer. I think he's a phenomenal athlete who has great coaches around him and a great team around him. I think the Steelers are going to take a step back. I think Big Ben is coming off an injury. He's like 38 years old. They historically are a good team. They haven't been a good team in a couple of years, and I think they've missed the playoffs the last 2 years. Am I right?
Yeah, but they just barely missed the playoffs this year.
Yeah, I know. Even with
Just
Mason Rudolph,
barely.
who's like a trash quarterback. Um,
Duck Hodges.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they historically are in the thick of things. I don't know. I just think Big Ben is going to fall off, and they don't have a backup, and they'll finish 7-9 or 8-8, something like that. The mystery team to me is the Cleveland Browns because they have a really good roster, receivers, running backs. Um, they have these. Miles Garrett is back. They have he got reinstated, right? He did get reinstated. He's overall a
Yeah,
good guy.
you got reinstated for the beginning of next year.
Yeah, good, good. He's that would have been stupid to keep him out for longer.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to Baker, and they fixed their offensive line. Baker is a guy that definitely depends on timing, on having a. You want to kill your quarterback early, and you want to kill your rookie, your young quarterback early. Give him a bad line, and he's not a super mobile quarterback. He gets around, but he's not like I don't know Carson Wentz mobile or Lamar Jackson
No.
mobile. He can't function behind a really bad line, and that's what they had last year. And they finished 6-10 with a good line that can do some things for you. And the Bengals have a rookie quarterback who's going to have no training camp, no OTAs. Basically, he's going to get thrown into the fire, and they're going to finish 2-14 again. The Bengals aren't going to be a team to look at seriously for another year. And then, if they're smart, they'll keep their coach and let them just have an off season with their new quarterback. I think they're going to end up firing him because it's just a dumb franchise. But Joe Burrow, that Bengals team might be better in 2 or 3 years. In 2 years. So having said all that, my official prediction is I think the Ravens take a step back this year, though they are going to win the division. I think they finish like 11-5,
Mhm.
and I think a lot of the teams in the NFL are going to look at the Titans tape in the playoffs, and um, they're going to just figure out how to make Lamar a passer and make him run to the outside so he doesn't get those chunk plays, and then just going to make him beat you with his arm. And frankly, they're still a good enough team: offense, defense, special teams, the lines. I think they Marshall Yanda retired. I don't know how much that's going to hurt them since they have a running quarterback, but providing Lamar stays healthy, I think they still make the playoffs. They finish 11-5, maybe 12-4. They won't finish 14-2 for sure. I think they win that division with the Cleveland Browns coming in second at 9-7.
Mm.
I believe they're gonna fix their offensive line issues. That team is gonna stop putting up points. Odell Beckham's coming back from injury. He was hurt all last year, and he still had a 1,000-yard season because they were forcing him the ball. Now he'll just get open naturally. He'll. I think I think he's going to have a breakout year, more so than he has normally. And then you have Jarvis Landry. You have a good running game. That defense is going to play well. And I got the Steelers coming in like 8-8, 7-9. And then and partially because they don't really have that many offensive I know Juju Smith-Schuster is supposedly a good receiver. He had like 600 yards receiving last year. He was not that good. I don't know if he's like a bona fide stud receiver yet. And
he had an off year last year, admittedly. But I mean, look at who was throwing to him.
Yeah, sure. No, I know. There's still receivers that do put up, good stats with bad quarterbacks. Like T.O. did it for years. And I mean, that's probably a bad comparison, but yeah. I don't think Juju's a top tier receiver. He's in that second tier. He's like in the Jeremy Maclin. Jeremy Maclin's a guy I love comparing players to. He's like that because he's like the perfect. He's not a stud number one, but he's a really good number two. And I thought Juju was amazing when he had Antonio Brown on the other side, and they were just bonkers. But anyway, Steelers finished third, Bengals finished fourth. Tell me what you think of my predictions.
I gotta disagree with you on some of these. While I do think that people will sort of look at the Ravens tape against the Titans last year, where they just sort of focus on Lamar Jackson and kind of shut him down, I still think that he's the type of talent that can just sort of overcome that and sort of maybe I think he can work around it because I mean they got a really good coach and a Harbaugh there. I forget, is it John or Jim? I always mix
John.
Yeah, John Harbaugh is a great coach. He just is. I think he's experienced enough, and Jackson is a good enough talent, and they have enough talent around them where they can still push. They can still push to a good record. I got them at 13-3, winning the division.
Lucas, if Lamar Jackson sprains his ankle and it's going to hinder him, sprains it and he's still playing, that takes 3 wins off their record. I disagree completely.
No, I agree with you there, but I still
he's not a passer. He's an athlete. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I know. But I mean, all these predictions are, let's say, just perfectly healthy team, which I mean, no one ever is. But
right.
But Lamar Jackson has no injury history thus far, and as of right now, I can see them going 13-3. Give her more, not so much give, take away maybe 2 wins, make it 11-5, like you said. I gotta disagree with you also on the Steelers. I got them going 10-6, making the playoffs as a wild card team. I mean, just look at what they did. They went 9-7 last year, barely missing the playoffs with Duck Hodges and
even Big Ben is coming off of injury. He's 38.
I know, but I mean, still, he's
historically he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I get it.
He's still a Hall of Fame quarterback. So I mean, Brady's been doing it for that long. I still think that they I mean, last year they got one more win, at least one more win if Roethlisberger's at quarterback, right? And they make the playoffs.
He was playing awful before he got hurt. I think he was having a crap year before he got hurt. I don't know if you remember that, but that's why in my brain I see them falling off a little bit. But I totally can see them going 10-6 too. I'm not gonna butcher you for that. No way. Go ahead.
Lastly, I mean, I agree with you with the Bengals. I think it's another rebuilding year. They're not going to be able to. Joe Burrow is not going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback two games out, like most people think he's going to be.
No.
Browns, I got going 7-9, just cause. I mean, their defense is not that great, and I just don't believe that Baker Mayfield's the guy. Personally, I don't know about you. I just don't see that. I mean, look at the talent. I know you said about the offensive line, and they did draft one of the better offensive linemen in the draft. But I wouldn't say
Wirfs or something like that. And they got Conklin. They signed Conklin. I think that's the bigger thing. Tackles.
They patched it up, but I'm not sure that that's gonna bring him over the top there. I mean, look at it. I mean, look at the talent that he had around him last year, and he still could only go, what was it, 7-9, 8-8,
6-10 they finished.
Oh, 6-10, even worse.
Yeah, even worse.
I got them going 7-9 this year, third in the division.
I think their horrible head coach had a lot to do with their 6-10 record and their poor offensive line.
Well, that's another thing though. New coach coming in, new system. He's got to learn a lot more. And
that can work both ways. I mean, there's guys that come in and install a new system and they shoot right up It really depends on the coordinators he's going to bring in. I mean, he's probably going to call the plays. I don't even know what Kevin Stefanski's. I'm not worried about the head coach this year. I'm just this year. I think Baker has no excuses. His first year, he actually played well. He had like 23 touchdowns and 13 picks, or he had a really nice interception touchdown ratio. And Hugh Jackson was the guy, that was running that ship. They still had bad overall coaching, and he still had a decent year. So now with better coaching, I think, and a better line, I think the record gets better. The team gets better. That's why I have them in the playoffs, but or with a winning record at least. Yeah. So let's move on to the AFC West. What do you have going on there?
I think that's a pretty interesting division because, I mean, the Broncos got a lot better this offseason. I think they're going to be one of the big surprises of this year. I think they make the playoffs as a wild card at 11-5, fifth seed. I mean, just look at the draft they had. They had a very nice draft getting Jerry Jeudy.
Yes.
They really bolstered that offense, and personally I like Drew Lock. He might not be that guy, but I think he'll be like a Phillip Rivers, can get the job done kind of dude.
That's a big compliment. I mean? Phillip Rivers is a big compliment.
Phillip Rivers is a borderline Hall of Fame quarterback.
Try again, bro.
Dude, no. I mean, let's say Phillip Rivers more recently, just a guy that can sort of facilitate, or I don't know, Peyton Manning on the. I'm very, very big comparisons here, but you get what I'm trying to say, right?
Don't. That's what you're trying to say, because I think Drew Lock, after 4 games, you don't know anything about the dude. I think Drew Lock he's the biggest question mark, and that's finish your division. But I'll fight you on this when I go.
All right. I'm just saying I think the Broncos are a lot better, and I think they go 11-5. Chiefs, I got going 12-4, first in the division. I mean,
hard to fight that. Yeah.
Yeah. With the Mahomes as your QB and the talent they have around him, plus Andy Reid, they're going to be 11 plus wins for the next, I don't know, 5-10 years. That's just what it is.
It is, and they might be multiple Super Bowl winning wins for Andy Reid the next few years, barring injury. Andy Reid, I mean, I'm happy for the guy. I really am. Good for him.
He deserves it more than anyone.
Yes. Oh my God. I had podcasts saying why Andy Reid will never win a Super Bowl because he choked so much in Philadelphia. The reason why he sucked in Philadelphia is because he never had talent around McNabb. I was fighting with people on Twitter like the last few days. McNabb has always had Pinkston, Thrash, 1 year with Macklin and Jackson, and he took him to the title game, and then 1 year with Terrell Owens, who got hurt, and he still took him to the Super Bowl. Like, Donovan McNabb has been shortchanged from a talent perspective for a long time. I know I'm deriving from the topic. Good. Go ahead and finish your division.
No, I agree with you about McNabb. I think he's the best QB of all time for the Eagles.
And if Wentz can't stay healthy, he'll remain that way. If he's going to be healthy, though, if he's going to be like last year playing full seasons, Wentz will take him over. But it's McNabb right now for sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. To finish the division off, third I got the Raiders going 7-9. I mean, you might disagree with me on this. I don't really like Gruden that much. I think it's more his way or no way. I think he's that kind of dude. They got Henry Ruggs in the draft, right?
They did.
That's a good acquisition.
It is.
But, I mean, with Derek Carr throwing him the ball, I don't know about that. He hasn't been the same since his injury. Even though I really liked him before the injury, but since then, he's sort of gone off the rails a little bit.
He's been weird, but go ahead.
Yeah, and then the Chargers at 4-12. They got Justin Herbert, who, I mean, he's a coin toss. I think he's
Josh Allen at best.
Yeah, I really have no idea what to think of him. I mean, he's apparently a genius. I mean, got a $100 million on the Wonder League or whatever.
Yeah, so was Danny Werfel.
No, but
so was Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, well, he went to Harvard, so
still.
But yeah, that's my AFC West. I mean, Broncos, a little bit of a surprise. Chiefs can't really argue with that much.
Mm-hmm.
But let's hear what you got to say.
All right, so I got the Chiefs winning. Obviously, I'm not even going to go into that one. The main thing with this division, I have it flip flopped. I don't believe in Drew Lock. I don't know what he is. He made some nice plays. He's got swag for sure.
That viral video.
But I don't know. I don't know once teams have tape on him, which they now do, how he's going to react to the, that second year, that sophomore slump.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Broncos finished 7-9, and I got the Raiders finishing 9-7.
Oh, okay.
I actually think the Raiders are going to be better. I'm weird on Gruden. Like, is he a good head coach? Is he just a guy that benefited from Tony Dungy's roster that won the Super Bowl? Is he just a really good coordinator? But here's why I think he's maybe matured, or Mike Mayock is actually might be the best thing that ever happened to him. Last year they finished 4-12. This year they're 7-9, and they added Henry Ruggs. They built that defense up a little bit, and they added Marcus Mariota as a backup. So if Derek Carr is trash, they now can go with Mariota.
Another trash QB.
I think Mariota's that trash. I think he was the victim of bad coaching. I think he's got his flaws, but he's not a bad quarterback. He's probably average. I think Derek Carr is better than what you think, and I think they're going to finish 9-7.
Sure.
Broncos 7-9, Chargers 5-11, 4-12. I really like Tyrod Taylor, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers were like in the AFC East. I think they'd probably finish 9-7. But they're not. They're in a really tough division. They're in a tougher division, and I don't see them winning more than 5 games with Tyrod. I think Herbert probably comes in halfway through the season, and then they have like it'll be like a experience kind of year for Herbert, and they'll see that he sucks, and that'll be the end of it. All right, so moving on. Anyway, I have it again: Chiefs, Raiders at 9-7, Broncos, and then the Chargers. AFC East. This is a fun division now that Brady's out of it, right?
Yeah, this is a bit of a weird one.
This is a weird one. I think it's pretty easy to call this year. I got the Bills winning this division with like a 11-5 record.
Okay.
I have the Jets winning. I have the Jets at 9-7.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. And then I have the Patriots and the Dolphins tied at 5-11. I think the Jets, Darnold in his 3rd year, and they got him Denzel Mims. And, before he got injured, before the whole – do you realize he was out for like 6 games with that whole mononuclear – what is it? Whatever mono. And he missed like 5 or 6 games.
Oh, really?
At least 4 for sure. He came back for the Cowboys. I forget what their schedule – anyway, they finished 7-9, all things considered. I think if he plays a whole season, they're going to be like 9-7 at the least. They might be 10-6. I think it's going to be between them and the Bills, and then you have the Patriots. If Bill Belichick wins this division, he's either really good at cheating. He's got some great nerds from Harvard, like MIT or whatever, doing something. He's got like micro cameras in the opposing team, whatever, man. I don't know. Who's the star? I don't even know who the starting quarterback is. Jarrett Stidham. I don't even know who the running back is. Sony Michel's the running back
of the Jets.
No, of the Patriots.
Oh, Oh, yeah, that's a whole mess. But I mean, we didn't know who. Who's the guy from the? Who's the quarterback of the Colts?
Philip Rivers.
Who's him? Who's the one last year?
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, nobody thought he was going to be like that great until. I mean, Belichick's the quarterback whisperer. You can't deny it.
Josh McDaniels is. Belichick's just a good tactician.
Well, Josh McDaniels is still there, isn't he?
He is still there. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think it's enough to win a division. I think they'll be all right. So I'll give them 6-10, 5-11. And then the Dolphins, I think they're really up and coming, but I don't think they're going to be there yet. They're still kind of rebuilding. I give them like 6-10, 5-11. What do you think about this division?
I'm not going to argue with you too much. I mean, I do have the Patriots going 8-8 just because of the quarterback whisper that they seem to have somewhere in that organization.
Sure.
I have the Bills going 10-6, winning the division. Jets going 4-12, just because there's really not much. What offensive talent do they have?
Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell, but they're behind their crap sack of an offensive line.
They got Beckham, the offensive tackle. He's like the biggest human being in the world.
Look, I know. Yeah, they're like making fun of him for his eating habits, right? Before the draft.
They were,
I
but
know
I
that
think
I know that was stupid, but no, I liked him. I liked him as a prospect, but I mean he's still in his first year, and I mean one tackle is not gonna bolster an entire offensive line. I mean that's a whole unit. You can't just patch it up with one guy and say, oh, we're good, okay. And Sam Darnold, I mean I still think he can be maybe like a top 15 quarterback, but as of right now, he hasn't shown any signs
he
of
has
that
a.
he will.
I'll put it to you like this: he's Carson Wentz, but with worse decisions. He throws more picks. That's his problem. But other than that, physically, athletically, he's very Carson Wentz-ish. He needs to, if they put better weapons around him, and I hope Denzel Mims, for their sake, I hope Denzel Mims turns out. They have Crowder, and I forget who their tight end is. Oh, Herndon, I think. And I can see, and then they have Le'Veon Bell. In that division, it's enough to go 9-7, 10-6. I really think so. I think Darnold is he's a stud that needs a little bit of talent around him. I really think they turn it around and get better. I really do.
Okay.
So that's why
Yeah, I
we're
mean,
no way. They're not going 4-12, brother. If they went 7-9 with less talent, with Darnold missing games, I don't know where you get off saying they're going 4-12.
like I said, I'm not going to argue with it too much because I still don't see anyone other than the Bills from that division going to the playoffs. I think the Dolphins are up and coming also, but yeah, like I said, Bills 10-6 make the playoffs.
That's about it. The rest of it is trash. All right, next division is the AFC South. That is your division, right? Your turn. So what do you
Yeah,
got? This is a wild one.
this is a weird division because
Yeah.
like everybody just seems like so tight. Like they everyone like other than the Jaguars, I feel like the Texans, Titans, or Colts could maybe win that division because I think the Texans just it all decides on Deshaun Watson. I mean, I think the hype around him is way too much, but I still think that he's a very good quarterback.
Yes.
Um, but I mean,
And I agree with you 100%. The hype is more than what he actually is. He
yeah, I
doesn't.
mean,
He's not that. He makes spectacular. Go ahead. Makes spectacular
I mean,
plays.
no, it's just Bleacher Report and ESPN just going at it with him. That's like they do. But I still have I do have them winning the division 10-6, like a respectable. It's respectable. I got the Titans making the playoffs at 9-7. I mean, I could even see them winning, going 11-5. I mean,
Oh yeah,
Derrick Henry is just
that
he's
is a bad boy.
yeah, he's like, at least for me, he's the first running back that I've seen truly take over like a team.
Yeah,
Like that's not like it's usually the quarterback's team. No, that's Derrick Henry's team,
yeah.
and there's really no denying that.
They might win the division. I think.
Yeah, I could see the Texans or Titans sort of flip flopping there.
Okay.
But the Titans do have a bit of a tougher schedule, which is the only reason why I give them a bit of a bump, or a bit. I mean, I get a bit of a decrease. But I still have them making the playoffs. The Colts, I got them going 8-8, just because you really don't know what they are. Honestly,
No.
I love Frank Reich. I really wish he had stayed, but
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
just really don't know what the Colts are right now. I could even see them sort of tanking this year and going for I don't know Trevor Lawrence. I mean,
Yeah.
you need the number one pick, but
Yep.
I could see them doing that. And then
Yep.
Jaguars 6-10. Minshew mania is BS. I just don't.
Oh,
You like Gardner Minshew?
I do. How can you
Uh,
say that with a mustache? How can you say that with a mustache on your face?
I don't I just don't buy it at all.
All right, my turn. My turn. I'm Skip Bayless. My turn.
Oh,
It's. God,
Skip Bayless.
I know. I'll be your Skip Bayless in this conversation. Lucas, the Titans are going to win that division, and they're going to probably go something like 12-4, 11-5.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
12-4. That's a lot of wins. You're
That's a lot
putting
of
them up
wins.
there with the Chiefs.
They were winning at halftime against the Chiefs. That defense is legit.
True.
Mike Vrabel is a very underrated head coach. He beat Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, and
I think that was the defense mostly.
he's a defensive minded coach. He played
There you
defense. There you go, right? I think he's baby Belichick maybe. I got the Titans go. I'm sorry. So 11-5 for the Titans. I have the Houston Texans going 9-7, maybe even 8-8. And the reason why I have that happening is because I think DeAndre Hopkins being gone severely limits them. They have Brandon Cooks, right? They have Brandon Cooks,
Yeah.
who's a nice player, not a great player. They lost. That's a huge weapon they lost with Hopkins. I have the
I
Jacksonville
mean, yeah,
Jaguars going 9-7 as well, and potentially making the playoffs because I believe in the mustache. Before you laugh at me, listen to this. First round pick, C.J. Henderson, number 9th overall, Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think that was a bit high, but
Okay, I think he's a very good corner. I think
no,
he's
he is. I still think it was a bit high.
okay.
There, I mean, look at the wide receivers that were on the board. If they believed in Minshew, then they probably should have picked a wide receiver.
They kind of did. They got my guy Laviska Shenault in the second round, who I think is going to be phenomenal for them. They also have Westbrook. They have some weapons. They have inconsistent wide receivers, but they still have better receivers than, let's say, the Eagles during the when our receivers got injured. They also got Clavon Chason, who was a defensive end who a lot of people compare to like the guy on the Bears. You know who I'm talking about. Malik, the really good defensive end on the Bears. I think Khalil Mack. He's baby Khalil Mack, they said. They got a defensive tackle in Devon Hamilton. I don't know, Ben Birch at offensive tackle. I saw a quarterback in Gardner Minshew that made no mistakes. I saw he's not amazing.
Like a Tony Romo guy.
He's Dak Prescott. He's Dak Prescott. Doesn't make any mistakes, but doesn't cost you a game. That's what Gardner Minshew is. And with that draft class and the receivers they got, and they have Leonard Fournette. Don't be surprised if they finish 9-7 and potentially push for a playoff spot this year. I got the Colts finishing last. You pick the record. I think Phillip Rivers is totally, he's an interception machine.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll that's what I have.
They're a throw up. They're not doing anything. I don't think.
I think in the NFL, things like this happen, and I think Jacksonville can make a jump. I really do. We're gonna go to the NFC West, and I believe it is my turn.
Yeah, I got.
Is that right, Shannon?
What?
Is that right, Shannon? It's my turn.
All right.
So this is a really funky division, man. You could literally make a case for every single one of these teams. The Cardinals got better with DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to say the 49ers are going to win this division, but it's going to be tight. It's not going to be a blowout like it was last year. They're coming off a Super Bowl hangover. I think they're going to win this division and go 11-5. I have the Seattle Seahawks going 10-6, and I have the Rams and the Cardinals. I don't even know if this is possible, but I got the Rams and the Cardinals going 9-7 each, and 3 teams in this division make the playoffs. In my book,
I had the exact same thing. Not the same records, but I got 3 teams going to the playoffs.
Yeah, this is a division where 3 teams will go for sure. The other division that I thought 3 teams might go is the NFC South, but right? But yeah, I got the Niners winning it. The Seahawks, you could probably flip flop the Niners and Seahawks, and I have the Rams and the Cardinals fighting for that 7th NFC. Wow, that because there's 7 teams now in each division or in each conference with the new CBA. Then there's only one bye team, if you want to call it that. So I could totally see this being like a three team playoff thing. What do you think? If you have the same thing, we can just move on to the next one.
I had the same thing, but I have the Cardinals winning the division 11-5. Just think about their all season. DeAndre Hopkins, of course. Amazing acquisition. I mean, Bill O'Brien's idiocracy than amazing pickup. But I mean, they also have Kenyon Drake. Those are the two. I think Kenyon Drake. He's not amazing, but I think that he's good enough to take the weight off of Kyler Murray's back a little bit. And I mean, speaking of Kyler Murray, I think he can make that Carson Wentz second-year jump. I mean, you got.
I think so too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got Cliff and him going another year. I mean, it's a Doug Peterson Carson Wentz situation. I think
Yeah.
I think they could do that, especially with Hopkins around him. I mean, it's the
Mhm.
exact same situation, almost the exact same
I
situation.
could see the Rams taking a backseat though. I could see them almost like going under 500 because Jared Goff is not that good to me. I don't think he's.
No.
I think he's a product of really good coaching and his coach telling him throw it to that guy before the play, and he's just a victim of a beneficiary
Uh,
of great scheming.
I agree. I agree.
He's
I got
not
the
a good
Rams.
quarterback.
I got the Rams going. I don't know, 8-8, 9-7. They're formidable at best.
Yeah,
Um,
they
I
have a
mean,
good roster.
yeah, I will stand by my Cardinals pick and at 11-5 for days.
What?
And then I don't even know if this like you said, I don't even know if this is possible. I got the 49ers and Seahawks both going 10-6, both making the playoffs.
Okay, yeah, I could see that too. I just can't believe you have the Cardinals winning the division. But
Their
that's my
defense
if
is also really good too.
huh?
Their defense is also really good too. They got Kennard, Devondre Campbell, Buda Baker, not to mention Isaiah Simmons.
Chandler Jones. That's right. They got Isaiah Simmons. Yeah,
Exactly. Just think about it a little bit.
yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not. This is the Jacksonville Jaguars pick, except the Cardinals are your Jaguars. Like me picking the Jaguars to make the playoffs, except you have
Okay.
the Cardinals going. I could see. I could see it. I believe. A lot of it has to do with the fact that I believe in Kyler Murray. Um, he's a good quarterback. Anyway, NFC North, go.
NFC North. Okay. I got the Vikings winning the division at 11-5. I just think they're an all around. They're just an all around good team. They got Justin Jefferson in the draft. I mean, they replaced Justin Jefferson with Stephon Diggs. I mean, other way around. My bad.
Other way
Uh,
around, right?
but I mean, Kirk Cousins. I like Kirk
I
Cousins.
like him too. I like him too.
He pisses me off because he always destroys the Eagles. But
Always. Oh,
yeah,
regularly.
but I mean, they're an all around good team. Maybe their defense took a little bit of a dip, but you can't really see them doing anything less than I'd say 9 wins. That's just me.
They're well
Uh,
coached.
yeah, they are well coached.
Dalvin
Packers,
Cook.
yeah, yeah. Dalvin Cook. I mean, injury history is a bit iffy, but when he's in the game, he's a
He's a
game
difference
changer.
maker. Yeah.
Almost to Derrick Henry level, almost.
More explosive.
Yeah. All right. I got the Packers second in the division at 9-7. I honestly see them. Their defense is ridiculous,
It's
but
good.
they have a really good defense. But I mean, they just drafted Rodgers' replacement while he's still in his prime. I mean,
Rodgers is not in his prime anymore. I think he's slowly
he's
declining.
older, but he's still winning game. He's still winning games for them. And to
They
me,
didn't help him with the receivers at all.
they didn't draft a single wide receiver. And that's another one of the reasons they didn't get him any help at all. I mean, of course, they still have Devontae Adams, but I mean, one receiver just isn't going to do it. They have a decent running game at best. I'd say above average actually. They got good running backs there. But I just think it all comes down to Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to be disgruntled this year. I mean, they just drafted his replacement.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna he's I think he's gonna the whole team is gonna take a dip because of his reaction. That's what I think.
They're gonna take a dip in the chip. What do you got going on with the Bears? I want to know your love affair with Nick Foles.
I mean, technically, he doesn't have the job yet. It's still
You
between
know
him.
he has the job, Lucas.
I
He has
mean,
the job.
Nick Foles. It's been proven that he cannot win in anywhere but
Philly.
Philadelphia. It's just true.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why these coaches just don't look at the entire Super Bowl run and just be like, let's do that play. Let's do that play. Let's do that play. I mean, do what fits him. They try and make Nick Foles fit their offense. No, you have to fit the Nick Foles offense.
DiFilippo being there is a huge help for him, I
That
think.
is okay. Yeah, that is. I still have them going 8-8. I mean, their defense is they still have a top 10 defense, but their offense is like bottom 10.
And you have the Lions finishing last because they're trash.
Yeah,
Matthew
five.
Stafford, I just want to have to say this. Matthew Stafford is the biggest victim of bad
Oh my
team
God, I feel so
building.
bad for him.
Team building that I've ever. If you put him on if you put him on the Packers, if you put him on the Rams, if you put him on the freaking Cowboys, the Saints, just a good team. He'll lead them to the playoffs every freaking year.
I agree.
And he's got a little bit of injury issues, but that's part of him trying to do too much. So yeah, I don't have the Vikings winning this division. I have the Packers still winning this division. I don't know how good Justin Jefferson is. I don't know if you can count on a rookie to be that dominant to replace your guy. The Packers still have a good defense. I think the Vikings finish. I think the Vikings should finish 9-7 or 10-6 again, and they'll have that. They'll get to the wild card. I do have the Bears at 8-8 as well, maybe 9-7. They'll fight the Rams or whoever that for that last playoff spot. I think Nick Foles with DeFilippo, and they have decent weapons in Chicago. That they might be all right. 8-8, 9-7. Detroit, yeah, I have them like at 4-12. Next division is the NFC South. This is a really interesting division. Do I go here or do you go here?
That's yours.
All right, so I think this division is going to go to the New Orleans Saints. I think they're going to go something like 13-3, and then I have the Bucks finishing second around 12-4, 11-5.
You're buying the hype, aren't you?
Of course I am.
You're buying the hype.
You can't not buy the hype, bro.
I can buy the hype a little. I can not buy the hype a little bit.
Okay.
I still have them making the playoffs, but go ahead.
Okay. The Falcons here are the team that I think this is a make or break year for Dan Quinn. They have Julio Jones. They have Matt. They still have weapons on offense. They lost Austin Hooper, but they replaced him with I think the backup for the Ravens, Hayden or something like that. And you have the Panthers. I don't believe in their head coach at all. I don't trust college coaches coming into the pros. I'm more of a retread NFL.
As a Temple fan, I still don't. He was a coach at Temple, and then he sort of rose to the ranks. I don't know how he got here, but I loved him at Temple.
You did love him at Temple. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't, maybe they'll be all right. I like Teddy Bridgewater, and I don't know how good their roster is. They have a sneaky good receiver in Moore, I think his name is
DJ Moore.
Yeah, and they have Christian McCaffrey. But I got the Bucks and the Saints winning. Going to the playoffs out of that division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about it. I think Tom Brady with those weapons is going to put up got ridiculous stats.
Remind me of what other than Gronk and Goodwin or Godwin, whatever his name is.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. Okay. Who's their running back?
Jones, Ronald Jones. They have the guy Jones as a running back
out of USC. He's a third year, right?
Yeah, and they also have what's his name? I got to see who they drafted.
No, they do have a lot of receiving weapons around them, but I'm going 10-6, making the playoffs as a wild card. I got the Saints going 12-4, winning the division, and then I don't know. Falcons, I got going 7-9. Panthers 8-8. You just sort of don't know with those two.
They picked up. I knew. Let me interrupt you. The Bucks got Keyshawn Vaughn, who's a Vanderbilt running back. A really elusive guy, explosive. He might be the missing running back cog.
Yeah.
Got Tyler Johnson at wide receiver. They had a nice draft too. They got Antoine Winfield Jr. and they got their offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs, who I think.
Bucks got Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah, they got a good line. They might win the division to me. Tom Brady might be like, yeah, I'm that good. I don't need Bill Belichick. And he doesn't make mistakes. The thing is, he's never been, even in college. I remember Tom Brady in college. He used to split snaps with they had a 2-quarterback system in college. And he would be like in and out with Chad Henne. I think it was either Chad Henne or I think it was Chad Henne for some reason. Mm-hmm. And literally, when I watched him play, every pass was a completion. It wasn't bombs down the field every time, but he threw a lot of completions, and he was very methodical. His whole career, you just see a guy that doesn't make mistakes. He's not going to go to the Bucs and make mistakes, bro. If anything, he's going to be a lot better. So with those weapons, I don't see it unless Father Time punches him in the face and rips his dick off. He's not gonna be bad.
That's what I think. He's gonna end his career on a stretcher. Some 23-year-old, 350-pound moose is just gonna topple him over and he's gonna be like, that's it for me, man.
I'm part of the conspiracy theory that he might be taking steroids. He doesn't look it, but there's all types of steroids. Alex, what's his name, Morales or Gonzalez? Rodriguez, his trainer, who's always around him. I mean, it's just, I understand he takes great care of himself and all that stuff, but I also have this and to veer off topic a little. I think Tiger Woods took steroids. I did, because then all of a sudden his body started breaking down. I'm pretty sure they caught him on steroids, and golf had only Tiger Woods going on for them. So they're like, dude, you either get off the roids or we're going public. And he got off the roids, and his body fell apart, because that's what happens when you're on steroids. The minute you stop taking them, your body. This is all conspiracy.
Yeah, I have no idea, but there was that. Remember, there was that 1 or 2, or it was like 2 or 3 years ago. There was that weird accusation from that Arab news network where they accused Peyton Manning and Ryan Howard and some other huge name I forget of taking steroids, and everyone's just like, "What the hell?" Just
look at him. Look at him. He's not every kind of steroids makes you big. You're thinking steroids. You're thinking a big dude. It's not always like that. That's growth hormone. There's like this horse tranquilizer that I think or something. Obviously now it's got to be more advanced. You got to know, like, Lance Armstrong was a skinny dude, but he pumped the crap out of steroids into his body left and right. That's why he won all those Tour de France's. But he's a skinny dude. He looks skinnier than you or me. And he was winning Tour de France after Tour de France. You don't have to be big to be taking steroids, but that's my conspiracy theory on Tom Brady. All right. What did you go for this division?
No, you went, but we'll both do the NFC East. I mean, it's one of the important ones, right?
But did you go for the NFC South? You said you have the Saints winning.
Yeah, I went. I got the Saints winning 12-4. Bucks also going to the playoffs 10-6.
Oh, so we kind of agree on this whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, NFC East. You go first.
I don't know. This is like a hard one because I love the Eagles so much. I really do.
I know, me too.
But I mean, it's honestly looking like the Cowboys might win the division. They don't they have the schedule. They had the schedule for it. The Eagles have a very, very, very hard schedule. I think the Cowboys could go 11-5, winning the division. Their only fault is their just atrocious defense. It's not a good defense. I mean, they still got.
I don't know about atrocious, but it's bad. Yeah,
it's below average. They still got DeMarcus Lawrence, and they just got who'd they get in the draft? The cornerback, Trayvon Diggs. They got him.
I like them.
He's good, but he's still fresh. I mean, everyone's like raving about their defensive line, but they got who'd they get? They got Gerald McCoy, DeMarcus Lawrence.
That's Ontario Poe.
Yeah, that would be an elite defensive line in 2014.
Right.
I mean, those are all aging talents going to be shut down.
Right. I agree with you 100%. This is we agree 1,000%.
But I think their offense is still good enough to push them to 11-5. I think the Eagles slightly missed the playoffs at 9-7. I mean, they just got they have a really tough schedule.
Because the Cowboys have a similar. They pretty much have the same schedule. I don't know what the difference is in our schedules with them. Actually, I'm trying to figure it.
Don't we play? Don't we play the Packers and they don't?
Yeah, that's one. They get the Rams, the Seahawks, the Falcons, the Browns, the Steelers, the Vikings. Their schedule is not easy. They get the Niners. It's a very similar schedule. I'm trying to figure out what the difference is in our schedules.
Okay, I guess I see your point. I guess the NFC East just has a tougher. I didn't look at the Cowboys schedule, admittedly. I guess the NFC East just has a really tough schedule this year.
It does, yeah.
Everyone in the NFC East pretty much plays the same.
They get the Vikings, we get the Packers. I think that's the only difference. One of the only differences. I'm trying to think of what else. Do they get the Seahawks? I don't think do they.
We do. Yeah.
They get the Seahawks. Yeah, they play the West. They do play the West. We play We get the Saints though as well, and they don't get the Saints.
It's those little games right there. And like if you look at the beginning of the schedule before the bye and after, the beginning is so hard, and it just punches you in the mouth every single
The
week.
Eagles, you think?
Yeah, I mean, look at it. It's they got the Saints, the Ravens, the Steelers. They got uh they got the Cowboys,
The
and
beginning of the schedule for the Eagles is Redskins, Rams, Bengals, Niners.
oh shit, that's my fault. No, but the Ravens are also in there.
Not in the beginning. No. The Ravens are October
Yeah,
18th.
yeah,
October 18th, we get the Ravens. So that's
yeah. That,
relatively
no,
early.
I mean, I just believe that the first half of the schedule is just harder than the second half, to me at least.
Might be
Yeah,
right.
yeah. They got. I mean, they got the Niners, 3 division games, the Ravens, even the Rams could be a tough one. I mean, I think I
So you
just
get
think we go. I think we go 9-7,
okay, and the Cowboys go 10-6.
10-6, 11-5,
Okay,
somewhere around there. I think the
I
Cowboys.
could believe that. Yeah, I'm just gonna hate listening to the Dak Prescott fan base
I
completely saying he's an amazing quarterback when all he does is have ridiculous talent around him.
Dude, I thought about it like a few days ago. I mean, I'm going off track here a little bit. I'm going to talk about Nelson Aguilar. If
Yeah.
Nelson Aguilar catches those balls against the Falcons and the Patriots, Eagles go 11-5.
Yes.
Nobody. There is no Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz debate. Carson Wentz is probably in the MVP conversation.
Maybe.
Life is good. Life
Probably
is good.
in the
Even though it
conversation. Yeah.
probably doesn't happen. It's just whatever.
JJ Arthego-Whiteside dropped the game winner against the Lions, right in his hands, right at the goal line. Catch the freaking ball, bro.
Lions. Oh my God.
So what do you have? What about the Redskins in the?
Um,
What do you
I
got going
got
on
the
there?
Giants going. I mean, I think it's another. I think they could be better than what I actually gave them. I gave the Giants 5-11 and the Redskins 4-12. I think it's just another rebuilding year for them. I think the Giants, the year after this one, that could be the year that they finally sort of pop off a little bit.
The Redskins?
No, the Giants.
Oh yeah, I think they could. I think the Giants will pop off before the Redskins pop off.
Yeah. I mean,
I
they're
believe
both
in Daniel
growth
Jones more.
organizations, but I don't know. That's what I believe. I think it's going to be like it usually is this year. Maybe the year after this one, it starts to become more of an even division. But right now, I still think it's the Cowboys and the Eagles at the top.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have it flipped actually. I have the Eagles winning the division with the Cowboys finishing second. I have the Cowboys going like 9-7,
Mhm.
10-6 maybe. We finish like with 11-5 record, maybe 10-6, but we win because of tiebreaker. It's going to be something similar to last year. I just when Mike McCarthy's a new head coach for the Cowboys. That's
Yeah.
one thing you also have to factor in. He was not notorious for running the football as the Packers coach. He would just let Aaron Rodgers throw the ball 50 times. I don't know if you remember this. He would let him throw the ball.
No, I know.
He's not been a good head coach since they won the Super Bowl, Mike McCarthy. And I don't know if he's going to drop Dak back with those three good receivers, Gallup, Lamb, and Amari, and just be like, here, Dak, throw it 50 times to him. I don't know if Dak can do that. I don't know with Travis Frederick being retired, that
Yeah.
line is going to be able to hold up. I don't know if that defense is going to give up so many points where Dak's going to have a gun to his head and have to play catch up, and you know that'll test you really quick. You know when
Mhm.
you're having to play catch up against the um, Seattle Seahawks and Russell Wilson or the Steelers or the Vikings. You know, last few years they've had a good defense and they've had a good running game. And first of all, I think Zeke has fallen off a little bit. If that offensive line is a little bit worse, Zeke isn't that good anymore. Zeke is probably still going to be a top 3 running back, but you see little signs of him wearing down. I just don't know if the game plan is going to fit. I think Jason Garrett did exactly what he had to do to protect Dak. And it was boring and fun for us to criticize him. But frankly, with Dak, you run the ball a lot, and then you make manageable 3rd and 3 plays where he's making easy decisions. You know, all these plays that Dak had when you just watch their games are easy reads. He's not having to drop back and read a whole field and bring you back
Dumb
like
down.
he's captain dump off. And when his offensive line didn't play, he had 7 straight games that he didn't throw 200 yards. I mean, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here. I think he's going to throw for a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns because they're playing from behind a lot. I just don't know if he has the balls to win it. I don't think he has the coach to win it. I think the Cowboys might be a victim of having a great offense that puts up a lot of points, but when it counts, they're going to fall apart. And that's why I have them finishing second to the Eagles. I think Carson's going to get better. Jalen Rager's good. You can't expect Deshaun to get injured for a whole year again, right? He'll miss 3-4 games, but he's not going to. Is he going to get injured again for the whole year?
I sure hope not. I mean, damn.
So you got Rager, you got Jackson, Alshon coming back later in the year. You got Ward, who's now kind of proven, and you got to expect JJ to come back and be a little bit better, right? Then they drafted 2 other receivers who I don't know whether they're going to be good or not, but one of them, Hightower, looks like he might be sexy. He might be pretty good out there, right? So you hit maybe on one of those guys. I mean, then you have Miles Sanders, who's only starting to scratch the surface. You got 2 great tight ends, a really good offensive line. I worry about Dillard, but maybe they bring back Peters. I don't know. He had good games.
He was – I mean, he's kind of like every offensive lineman. Once they get preparation, they're fine. That's just how it is. And
I think he needs to get a little bit stronger. If you follow Jimmy Kempski, he identified where he struggles the most, and that's getting pushed back because his footwork and everything is fine. He doesn't get beat hand-wise. He gets beat when the guys just bull rush him. So he's getting stronger this offseason. I expect him to be fine. I worry a little bit about him, but not that much. And then they could also bring back Peters. Maybe they do it anyway. That defense, they got Hargraves. We got a shutdown corner now. We'll put him on. I'm less worried about Avonte Maddox on the other side. I like Rodney McLeod. I like Jalen Mills. Linebacker, they drafted the fast kid out of Colorado. I don't know if they got this pick right or not. Maybe they did.
I like him. I kind of like him.
He flies around. He's fast.
He does.
He's fast. He's like a less heralded Isaiah Simmons. Maybe he's really fast. He runs
that's exactly who I compare him to. I tweeted out it looked like Isaiah Simmons is getting praised for being so versatile, being able to play like safety, cornerback, whatever. But Davion Taylor does the same exact thing, and for some reason he's the worst. Like that's just Eagles fans for you.
Yeah. Listen.
I think a lot of the games will come down to can Darius Slay lock down the other team's best wide receiver, because that's just how it is.
Yeah, I worry about the only problem I have with Slay is his age. I wish we got him a year or 2 ago because he's 29. He may not.
Yeah, but how old is Richard Sherman? He was one of the best corners in the league last year.
Yeah, he was. I don't know if he's Richard Sherman. I don't know. I hope Slay is good for years to come. Who do you think wins this? Let me ask you this: who wins the Super Bowl this year? Give me that prediction.
I did a whole bracket too.
Oh, give me your bracket.
Okay, so AFC, I got Ravens as the number 1 seed. Chiefs and Titans play first. Got the Chiefs going there. Then I think got the Ravens winning against the Chiefs. I got the Ravens all the way to the AFC Championship. The Super Bowl.
You have the Ravens in the Super Bowl?
I got Ravens going to the Super Bowl. Against the Steelers, and looking at that, I think it's a bit rough, personally.
Wait, the Ravens can't play the Steelers in the Super Bowl.
Why not?
They're AFC teams. They're in the same division.
I'm sorry. I got them in the AFC Championship.
Okay.
Championship, which is now that I'm looking at it the day after, I'm just like, really, why did I put the Steelers there? But since the Ravens and the Chiefs will play in the second round, I don't know who else will come out. Maybe the Bills, maybe not the Titans, maybe the Texans. Who knows?
So you have the Ravens in the Super Bowl versus who in the NFC? I'm curious.
NFC, I got the Saints. I think this is finally the Saints' year. Finally, after like 3 years, I think this is finally it.
Could be. It could be. I don't disagree with you. I think it's the Chiefs versus – I don't think the Eagles make the Super Bowl. I think they do better than they did last year. I think it's going to be – it could be a repeat of the Chiefs-Niners. It could be. It could also be – I don't know. Drew Brees is 40 years old and he's small. And he doesn't have a great arm.
Yeah, but you just said it. Drew Brees is 40 years old and he's still doing it.
Father Time punches you in the face, brother. Trust me, I'm 37 and I feel it.
I mean, Tom Brady, you could say the same thing about him.
Yeah, but he's on steroids. I'm just joking. I don't know. Maybe I'm not joking. Listen, we got a special announcement. The next pod we do will be on live. We'll be Twitter live. I hope you guys really come and enjoy the I don't know when we're going to do it yet. Probably when there's more news and just something we can get excited about. I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch. I think it'll be, something you guys can interact with and curse us out on Twitter, or just ask an intelligent question. Novel idea. I know.
Come on.
What's up?
We're talking to Eagles fans here. Come on.
I know. They're gonna use words like John and Truther and things like that. I don't know. It'll be fun though. It'll be a lot of fun. Lucas, this was great, man. I really appreciate you jumping on with me and doing this. I hope I can jump on your pod. What is the name of your pod?
Yeah, my pod is the Philly Fever podcast. We cover everything from Eagles to Sixers to Phillies. We're on all platforms, Spotify. Also, follow me on Twitter at Eagles Countdown. Yeah.
Perfect. You guys give him a follow. You give us a watch, a listen, whatever. And this was a lot of fun, brother. I will see you next time when there's more news. We're going to drop one live, and we're going to do it big. All right? I'll talk to you later.
All right. I'll see you.